Hello, I'm Elder Bill Smith. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Ordinary Christian, where walking in kingdom power is an ordinary part of life. I'm here today to talk about some things regarding the COVID-19 virus and what God had shown me prior to the pandemic. Bill Smith here again, and I'm standing in front of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research here in Silver Spring, Maryland.
An interesting fact that most people aren't aware of is that the United States military lost more people due to disease than to enemy action all the way up until World War II. In 1777, George Washington had all of his troops inoculated against the smallpox virus. An astonishing 90% of all the casualties incurred by the Continental Army were due to disease alone. Even in World War I, the U.S. Army had 260,000 troops incapacitated with the flu and lost 30,000 even before arriving in France. So whether on the home front or abroad, the enemy has never been the vaccine and the dedicated medical professionals who create them. The enemy has always been the disease. And now with COVID-19, that is still the situation. If you have any doubts, look up researchers Dr. Katie Carrico and Dr. Drew Weissman. Dr. Carrico escaped communist Hungary in 1985, carrying nothing but $900 from the sale of her used car, which she concealed inside of her 2-year-old daughter's teddy bear. She had a dream of pursuing medicine in the United States and is the main person responsible for the amazing advances of messenger RNA-based vaccines. But the pharmaceutical companies were unwilling to take a chance on a new technology, and she languished until a chance encounter at a photocopier put her in touch with Dr. Drew Weissman. Dr. Drew Weissman became an advocate for messenger RNA-based vaccines. This technology is what allowed the COVID-19 vaccine to be produced so rapidly. The legacy of racism in American medicine has made many African Americans vaccine hesitant. But let me say, come on, black people. Do you really think that someone like Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett is going to create a vaccine that's going to harm black people? I'm proud of my service as a U.S. Army Reserve officer and paratrooper. What I'm also proud of is my service in the vaccine development process.
So when people say, oh, I don't trust the vaccine, it was developed too fast. Developed faster for the same reason that 100 years ago, it took like 2 days to go from New York to LA, and now you can go from New York to LA in 5 hours. It's not something that was created in a back room by some people that didn't know what they were doing. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now some things that God had shown me about the COVID-19 pandemic. God did not show me what it was going to be. But He did show me that it was going to be overwhelming chaos. So in early 2020, it was starting to be a sense of concern with the CDC and the World Health Organization. At this point, they knew that this virus that had come out of China was something more than just a normal virus. Then it hit me. This was it. It wasn't going to be another foreign war. It was a global pandemic. Now, some people would say, why didn't you come out with this back in 2016? Why did you wait till 2021 to talk about this? And the reason is actually very simple. At that point, with the country so politically divided, who would have listened? I mean, at that point, the president, Donald Trump, might as well say his name, everybody knew who the president was in 2016. Everybody who didn't like Donald Trump would have said, well, no duh, we'll probably have some type of a disaster before 2020. and everyone who liked Donald Trump would say, oh, you just don't like him because you're a liberal, which I'm not, and you just don't like the president. So, at that point in time, I didn't have any social media. I wasn't an ordained minister. I'd only been a deacon for about 2 years. And let me say this, there were a few things that stood out about that. And the main thing is that it was a sense of chaos and confusion, but it came in waves. Now, I wasn't counting, but I can tell you that it was extremely strong. And I've had words of knowledge before, and I've actually had some that involved very high-profile public figures, which I gave to them at the time. And if I can get in touch with them to get their permission, maybe, Lord willing, I'll be able to share that someday. But I say that to say this. This was something that was so strong and so overwhelming and so completely just emotionally overwhelming and just overwhelming emotionally that it was like something I'd never experienced before in all the previous words of knowledge. But the thing is, it was something that came in waves. It was something that came just like waves at the beach. Now, I've had words of knowledge before, like I said, and I used to think I was having deja vu when I would have words of knowledge. And then I realized, we all had deja vu, that along with the feeling of having been someplace or seen or experienced something before, it was always accompanied by some type of an event that was a trauma or something that was really negative. And I say that to say this. I'm certain of what God gave me. I would like to say that this is over, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Protect yourself, protect your loved ones. Get the vaccine, people. It's not over by a long shot.